Today we're working on our 1976 Bicentennial Eldorado, and there's a problem with the headlamp monitors. It's not a big problem, should be pretty easy to fix. The headlamps work. The monitors, which are here in the fenders, well, they show a really weak high beam, and the customer said that there's no high beam light. So we need to find out what the problem is, and we think we know what it is, and it's probably going to be pretty easy to fix. We'll show you how to do it. In order to fix this, it's kind of important to know how it works. Basically what happens is there's a fiber optic cable that goes from the back of the headlamp up to the lamp monitor. And that fiber optic cable can either be loose or it can have some corrosion on it, and it just needs to be cleaned. There's another way that there can be a problem, and that is if they put the wrong headlamp in and the headlamp doesn't have a little knob on the back that'll allow the fiber optic to read it. So we're going to take this bezel off, take this off, and find out which of those problems we have. Bezel's easy to remove. There's one screw in each of the four corners of the bezel. It's a Phillips head screw. It comes right out, and that whole bezel pops right out. Okay, with the headlamp bezel removed, the frame around the headlamp needs to come off so that the headlamp itself can come out. That's held in by 1, 2, 3, 4 screws, and they pop right out. With that headlight frame and retaining ring out, the headlight pops right out. You can pull a little of the wire out, and we'll take a look and see what we have underneath here. And it's kind of hard to tell what we've got, but it looks very original. This black rubber piece is what focuses all that light towards the fiber optic cable. So we're going to take this apart and see what we have. Looking at the wiring harness, we can see that it's got a little corrosion around the edge of the fiber optic end, and we're going to clean that and scuff it a little bit and get it so it's nice and shiny again, so the light will go right through it. Looking at the headlamp, it has a little bit of dirt around the edge of that little nipple, which allows the light to come through it and go to that fiber optic. So we're going to clean both of these, and my guess is that we're going to get a nice shiny bright blue light in that lamp monitor. We're also going to clean these connectors and contactors and make sure everything is all set for when we go back together. For cleaning, I like to use a little bit of goof off on a rag, and we just wipe these parts down, get everything really nice. If we want to be really spiffy about it, for the metal contactors, we can use a little bit of steel wool and make this thing look like brand new. Once you get the goof off on your rag, you're going to want to get around that little nub and clean really well, inside, outside, all around it. You're not going to harm it, you're not going to damage it. It's part of the headlight, it's a sealed beam, and you get it nice and clean, and that'll give you a nice bright light that you can use to get your lamp monitors back working again. On the light socket itself, a little rag with some goof off. You're going to rub right on the center part of this little fiber optic end that's right in the center, and get that good and clean. You can actually use a little Q-tip with some goof off on it. That helps too, and that gets it nice and shiny and clean. Okay, now that our lamp is all cleaned up, we've got this little rubber boot that fits over the end of this. If you ever lose one of these, you come across a car that doesn't have one, a little piece of vacuum line that's that same size will fit right over there. So you push that right on there. It keeps the light from going all over the place, and it just directs it right centrally out to where the fiber optic sensor is, and it gives you a perfect amount of light to light up that lamp monitor. With our headlamp back in, we pull out the switch, and what do we have? We have 3 fantastic lamp monitors, all working exactly the way they're supposed to. And the actual cost to fix this was $0. So you can do this yourself. Thanks for watching the West of the Lake Region Cadillac and LaSalle Club. We'll have plenty more videos like this as we continue on with our journey of getting this Eldorado back in 100% condition. Hey, while we're working on the headlamps, I want to do a Lieutenant Columbo and go one more thing. These are sealed beam headlamps that came with the car. They're not halogens, they're not LEDs. Now, they're not very bright, and a lot of people want to replace these with halogens or LEDs so that they can have more light on the road as they're driving, and that's a fine thing. There's nothing wrong with that. However, You have to be aware that a lot of the halogens, if you buy the GEs, they generally will have that little tab on the back of it so that the fiber optics work. If you buy LEDs, none of them that I've seen have the fiber optic tab on the back. I've seen some guys that drill them out, but then that ruins the sealed beam portion of it. It's a crapshoot. For originality and for full functionality, stick with what you've got here, the sealed beams, or get the GE halogens, because they've got the little nub on the back that will actually work and let you see that fiber optic light.